You ever look at a list of numbers and just feel nothing? Well, believe it or not, numbers are hiding some incredible stories, but only if we know how to speak their language. Today, we're going to become data storytellers. We're learning how to turn those confusing numbers into visuals that are just crystal clear. So, let's get started.
Okay, let's start with this. We've got a simple survey of 60 students asking about their favorite fruits. You see the raw counts right here. And yeah, the info is totally accurate, but at a quick glance, it's just a jumble of numbers. It's kind of hard to instantly see the big picture, isn't it?
So that leads us to our big question. How do we take this plain, kind of boring data and turn it into a visual story that anyone can get in a split second? That's the challenge, and we're going to solve it right now.
Our journey from just numbers to an actual story, well, it starts with one absolutely crucial step. We have to turn these raw counts into something we can actually compare. And the magic ingredient for that? Percentages. See, by calculating the percentage for each fruit out of that total of 60 students, the story really starts to take shape. Those 24 students who like oranges, that becomes 40%. The 18 who like apples, that's 30%, and so on. And look at that, everything neatly adds up to 100%, giving us a really clean, complete picture.
So, with our percentages ready to go, it's time to bring out the stars of the show. When you want to show how a single whole thing is divided up, the bar graph and the pie chart are absolutely your go-to tools.
First up is the band graph. Just think of it like a ruler that goes from 0 to 100%. Each category gets its own little segment of the band that matches its percentage. It's linear, it's straightforward, and it is really, really effective.
And of course, its famous cousin, the pie chart. Here, the entire circle is 100% of your data, the whole pie, right? Each slice is a visual chunk that represents a percentage, which makes it super intuitive to see which parts are bigger or smaller. And, making one of these follows a really simple, logical recipe. You figure out your percentages, you double-check they add up to 100, you slice up your shape, and then you label everything clearly. Seriously, that's all there is to it.
And boom, there it is. This is the result for our fruit survey. This just brilliantly shows the power of visualization. That confusing table is gone. Now you can see instantly, without any effort at all, that oranges are the clear favorite. The story is told in a single glance. But showing parts of a whole? That's just one kind of story. Different data needs different tools. You see, the real key to great data storytelling is knowing which graph to pick for the job. So, let's expand our toolkit a bit.
I want you to think of this as your data storytelling toolkit. The first question you got to ask is, what story are you trying to tell? If you're comparing different amounts, a bar graph is perfect. If you're showing how something changed over time, you'll want a line graph. And as we've just seen, for showing parts of a whole, the pie chart is the master. Each one has its own special power. So, this is the crucial point, knowing the difference. Do you want to compare completely separate things, like, say, the sales figures for 3 different products? Use a bar graph. It lets you do that precise side-by-side comparison. But what if you want to show how one single thing, like a company's budget, is broken down? Well, that's a job for a pie chart. It's the best at showing how big one piece is compared to everything else. Okay, now for some pro tips. Once you've got your visual, how can you pull even more precise information out of it? Let's learn how to decode the hidden numbers behind the pictures.
Now, what's really interesting here is this little puzzle. We're looking at a chart for energy consumption. We've got percentages for oil and other, but electricity, it's labeled with an angle? 72 degrees? What in the world does that mean?
This is a fantastic test of our data decoding skills. How do we translate that 72-degree angle into a percentage that we can actually understand and compare to the other slices?
So, the formula is actually surprisingly simple. It always comes down to the same idea, the part divided by the whole. And for a circle, the whole is always 360 degrees. So we just take our slice's angle, that's 72, divided by the total of 360, and then multiply by 100 to turn it into a percentage.
And there it is. That 72-degree slice for electricity represents exactly 20% of the total energy consumption. See? We've successfully decoded the visual and unlocked that hidden number. Pretty cool, right? And here are 2 more super useful formulas for your toolkit. If you know the total amount of something and a percentage, you can find the exact value, like finding out that 30% of 300 kilograms is 90 kilograms. The same exact logic works for finding the length of a segment on a band graph, too. So, why does all of this matter? Well, because understanding these graphs isn't just some abstract math problem. It is a crucial skill for navigating the modern world, whether you're reading the news or sitting in a business meeting.
This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? The goal is transformation. It's about taking these abstract numbers and turning them into a story that our brains can process instantly, intuitively.
Okay, so let's lock in the core takeaway here. The bottom line is this. If you need to compare different things, grab a bar graph. If you're tracking something's journey over time, a line graph is your best friend. And if you're breaking down a single total to see all its little pieces, the pie chart is the perfect tool for that job.
And I'll leave you with this question. Now that you have this toolkit, the next time you see a graph somewhere, don't just see a picture. Ask yourself, what's the story this graph is trying to tell me? And maybe more importantly, is it using the best and the most honest tool to tell it?